Yo guys, Dim here. Today I'm making a video about fixing my hub motor here. My hub motor basically has a problem where 3 of these threads are stripped out, the threads that mount the rotor to the hub. As you can see, when I twist this screw, it gets a little tight, but then it jumps a thread and that just keeps happening. Same thing happens over here, same thing happens over here. So those threads are just stripped. No matter how much I twist, they're just stuck. The 3 on this side are good, and the reason that this happened is because I didn't use Loctite when I put the threads in initially, and I also probably didn't torque them enough. On top of that, when I was putting in new threads, I think that I over-tightened them and that I stripped these threads. That is in fact my fault, but also these are very, very soft threads, so you gotta be kind of gentle with them. When you compare this to typical bicycle threads, these are made from a much softer metal because it's forged. This is forged and then they make a tap into it, which is a lot weaker than if it was a machined part. So what I'm going to try doing today is, I bought this sort of thread repair kit from AliExpress. It's like a helicoil, very similar. As you could see, those are the threads, and then it comes with a bunch of tools to drill it, tap it, thread in the helicoil, and then punch out that little pin at the bottom. So the first thing I'm going to do is just completely remove this rotor. So I'm going to remove, just lift up the rotor, we don't have to take it off completely. Same thing for the spacer here. So as you can see, this part of the hub has completely chipped off. So I don't really see a great future for this one, but I think that if I get the threads on there, it'll be better. But these 2 here still have most of the meat on them, so I'll be able to drill and tap these for sure. First thing I want to check is to make sure that I got the right threads here, and I'm going to take the screw itself and just thread it on there, and yes, that is correct. So let me just go ahead and thread that on there to see how deep we need to go. So basically we're going about this far deep into the hub. Let's try drilling it out, and you obviously want to be careful not to drill too deep, because if you drill too deep you'll penetrate the hub itself. Is figure out about how deep this is going to go and then put some tape on there to mark it off so you don't go deeper than that. So I'm not going to go any deeper than this tape. Get a drill. This is my first time using a drill in a long time. I usually just use impact guns. And drill it out. Try to drill straight and down, so I just blew down into there, trying to kind of remove whatever little shavings went down there. I think I got enough out. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this tap tool. This is just a T-wrench, and this is the actual tap itself that comes with the kit. I had to buy this separately. I think I got it for like $3. Obviously, these are not the highest quality tools, but I'm just trying to do this repair on a budget and something you could follow along too. And this whole repair costs about $10, so if it works, then that's a great deal in my opinion to save a couple $100 hub motor. So you just push that square end onto there, and then you tighten this, and you just start tapping. So you want to make it again as vertical as possible. And this is going to be a little bit tricky since part of the hub is chipped off. Once you get a couple threads in there, it goes a lot more smoothly because the tool just lines itself up. And then once you get to the bottom, you really can't go any further, and just back the tool out. Alright, so we got some pretty decent threads on there. I don't know if you could see them. They look good enough to me. Next up is going to be this insert. I already pulled one out right here. It's basically got a little piece at the bottom that's just going across the coil, and that's what goes onto this tool right here. With that on there, we can insert the tool into the thread we just created and start threading it in there. And if all went well, it should go in fairly smoothly. And once it gets to the bottom, make it nice and snug. And there we go. It feels very, very solid right now. Looks like we bent the tool a little. But anyway, the next step is we take this thing here, and that metal piece that goes across the coil, we're actually just going to bang that out using this because we don't want that still in there. Alright, I can see that the little piece has broken off and it's in that hole. So I got two different kinds of tweezers here. I'll see if this one can grab that. There we go. There's that metal piece. Pulled it out of the thread. So let's go ahead and test out our screw to see if it threads on now. So the screw threads on there very, very nicely. I am really, really impressed with this kit so far. Let me go ahead and repair these other two threads now. I did bend the tool here a little. Maybe I over tightened the coil and that's why the tool bent. So I'm gonna see if I could bend it back. Yeah, the coil just doesn't go on there as easily. I definitely bent the tool. Alright, cool. Tool's bent back into place. And I'll just be a little more careful with the next two threads. Because if this tool breaks entirely, I'm really screwed. I guess you get what you pay for. So let's repeat the steps. Step 1 is drill. Step 2, I'm just going to vacuum it out. Step 3, we're going to tap it. It's going to be a lot easier this time since now we have more hole to work with. I hit the bottom, so I'm going to back out the tap, vacuum it one more time. Hole looks decently threaded, and let's give it the insert. Put it onto the end of the tool there, and gently insert it, lining up all the threads. Feels snug now, so let me pull out my tool. I hope I didn't cross thread the insert. It looks like I kind of cross-threaded it, but as I started to tighten this screw, it corrected itself. So I'll take it. But I will be more careful on this last one now. Damn. So it's starting to rain. I'll be right back. Next up, we tap the hole, same way we did the other two. Line up the tool as good as we can. Grab the insert, put it on the tool, and thread it in. Knock out that pin at the bottom. There we go. So that's probably my best thread so far. Just go ahead and assemble everything as it was, and make sure you use thread locker for the screws. Here I have the Loctite 242. I'm going to use one screw first to just line everything up. Just a touch of thread locker. I should really clean this screw, but I just cannot be bothered right now. Back this screw out so I can put thread locker on it. Alright, and just torque it down. I don't have a torque wrench. I'm just going to tighten in a crisscross pattern. And now I'm just going to get everything nice and snug. Alright, when I was screwing these in, the threads felt very, very strong on this side. I gotta say that I would consider this an upgrade to these original threads, because this cast aluminum with the tapped threads, the material itself just does not withstand a lot of torque. Now, obviously you should be using a torque wrench so you don't over tighten and strip the threads, but I mean, I don't even know what the specification is for this, and I couldn't really find it easily. So I could see this happening to a lot of people where they accidentally strip the threads because this material is so soft. So I can bet you that these inserts that I just put into these threads have actually made stronger threads than the original ones on this side. And I am very, very confident in running these. I hope this video helped, and if you were experiencing a similar problem, I hope you were able to take this video and repair it at a cheap price the same way that I did. This is probably the best way to repair a hub with damaged brake threads on the cheap, and it actually makes the threads stronger than they originally were. So I think this is a perfect solution. Let me know below in the comments if this helped you out, and if you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff, and see you in the next one. Peace.